Hello, this is going to be part 2 and my introduction to fry screaming. Sorry, I'm kind of out of frame. I'm going to be picking up the camera at some point. And just as a disclaimer, there may be some kind of background noise. I'm right next to a busy road. Okay, so let's start it off. Okay, so last time I showed you something called the Grudge voice. That's just how I really started to learn to introduce the raspy tone that comes from fry screaming. The fry sound, and that sound is coming from your vocal cords just vibrating together really fast. So, like, I'm not a professional on all of the muscles and everything that goes on, but I learned how to use it. So, bear with me. Okay, so bare basics. We're going to start with simply breathing. We need to learn how to breathe correctly. If we want to sustain our screams, we want to be able to do them with power and actually save your air, especially if you're a live performer. I used to do these very loud belting screams, and it would bring me to the point where I would black out for like a split second on stage, and it was not fun. I didn't like it. So instead of belting and using a lot of chest, what we want to do is use the diaphragm, which is the upper gut area. That's what you should feel when you're taking in your air. This right here, right under my rib cage. Okay, we're going to start with a 5-second exhale. We're going to sustain the same note, the same intensity of exhale for 5 seconds, and then we'll try to bump it up to 10. So I got my phone. I'm gonna time myself. Okay, remember to hydrate. That's important. You need to stay hydrated. If your throat starts drying out, it might get uncomfortable. Even just breathing, like exhaling in this fashion, can get uncomfortable. So remember to hydrate. Maybe if you have like stuff like a throat coat, use it. Maybe a light bit of honey for screaming. Not so much for clean singing. Everybody says stay away from sugar, stay away from caffeine when you're clean singing. When I am doing primarily screams and I know it, I like to coat up a little more. I'll use maybe like coffee with just a little bit of milk in it, or a room temperature soda, not cold. And your water should be room temperature, even maybe just a little bit warm. That's okay, just not cold. It restricts the throat. It could prolong your stiffness. It'll hurt you. It'll feel more harsh. It's just no good. Don't do it. Okay, so we're going to start breathing. I'm going to time myself. Let's go for 5 seconds, okay? So, take a nice deep breath. Okay, so that was 6 seconds. I went a little over. Okay, so try to hold the same note. We're going to go with now, let's try to breathe out and use a little voice. We'll hold an A note. Okay, so let me pull up the A note. Let me just... Okay. Okay, so I'm going to use that A as like the build-up for my middle scream, okay? My middle scream, it kind of works with intuition. You're going to feel your voice box. You'll feel the tightness in the middle of your throat section here. When I use a higher scream, I feel it move up. I intentionally use the upper nasally part of my throat, and that's where I feel the resonance and all the rumble or the fry when I'm screaming. So let's go with our middle scream sound. This would be it for me. This is my middle scream sound. That's a lot less voice. I'm trying to be very relaxed. I'm a little jittery because of the coffee, so I would not recommend that in all cases. It just wakes me up. It helps me sometimes. So we got to relax. Just take it down a notch. Remember to breathe. Take in all the oxygen. Become one with the nitrogen and the argon. Okay. Right? That's just me. In my mid-range voice, kind of like my talking voice, my normal talking voice. That's my mid-range voice. I'll use that to help me enter my screaming. So, now, remember, even pressure with the diaphragm, or else you're going to get, you don't want that. That's why we do the 5-second warm-up. Try to sustain that note. And take 5 seconds to 10 seconds. Push it for, a comfortable time that you can actually build and you feel progress with. Don't try to push too hard. You might just pass out. Okay, so we got our breathing down. Now we're going to work on introducing the grudge noise, the dreaded grudge noise. I don't know why so many people diss it. So many people talk down on it. But really, that's how I learned how to do the fry scream. Embrace the grudge noise. And it comes from tightening. Tightening your throat. Right? Sustain the grudge noise for 5 seconds. Try to keep it even. Keep it nice and even. So when you learn how to sustain it, that's how much air you will need to sustain your scream and keep it raspy. Because when you're screaming, especially with the fry, so when you push too hard, I realize sometimes, like even live, I've done this. I'll try to belt it out, and it'll just go. I'll lose my voice. So relax, stay relaxed. So now let's introduce the whisper scream. Right? Like you got your crowd going for you, right? Do that for 5 seconds. Okay. Mid-range, I feel the rumble right here. Okay. It helps me to stretch my neck just a little bit. Helps just more air flow throughout. It just makes a wider passage for me. And I keep this like boxed shape with my mouth. When I'm naturally singing, I like to hold my microphone and adjust my body. I'll talk more about the posture later because it affects you. Right now, I'm kind of doing this awkward dance with my microphone. It just helps to reduce the noise because otherwise you'd hear like the flopping of the cord. So that. We don't want that, okay? So releasing the whisper scream sound, we're going to start with ha, 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 right? Ha, 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 ha. Get to that point where you find the rumble. And then try to push a little harder. Practice that for like 10 minutes. And every week, increase the volume, increase the pressure that you're pushing down on. Doing that, just like training any muscle, it will help you to be able to build more strength so you can push harder, sustain longer. It's a good idea to maybe feel exactly how much air you're pushing out. Don't push down, but feel. If you can physically feel your compression going at the same rate, you're doing good. Okay, next is more the That's how I use, or that's the muscle I use to help belt out quick, fast scream. Like the It comes from tighten your throat. Use your diaphragm to release little bursts of air. Sound like a duck, right? Now, we need to make sure that our mouth is cooperating with us to a point where passageways, like when I'm doing a mid-scream, I'm keeping that box shape, right? Maybe if you can, get your lips just over your teeth. The teeth shape the frequencies and can change the tone of the scream even. How tight you're holding your lips. Like, you should be more relaxed. Don't really hold it there like really hard. Try to just nice and relaxed. I got my tongue down, basically touching just before my bottom row of teeth. I'm remembering to elongate just a little bit, or else don't restrict the passage. Let it flow out. Okay, now here's a segment where I'm going to talk about my posture, because when I'm performing live, I'm a lot more energetic. I'm into it. I get into this kind of fighting stance because that's where I just feel, I feel centered. I'm balanced. When I'm in this stance, you could probably hear. I'm just barely with shoulders width apart. I'm just barely bent with the knees. From here, I got all my head movement. A lot of people, when they warm up, it's best to just stand up straight. However, I find when I'm just straight, sometimes my neck is tilted too back. Sometimes I need to arch forward. So, find the balance for you. Find where you can stay comfortable, let the air out, and you're not maybe arching your back too much to compress or sitting back too far, what have you. Don't develop bad posture habits, but find something that's comfortable for you. Like I said, I get in my fighting stance right here. I'm ready to get in somebody's face. I'm ready to run around on stage like a maniac, but I'm staying calm at the same time with my breath, my head. I don't do too much head movement. I don't do too much jumping around while I'm vocalizing. Save that for after, like breaks or something. So. This is my metal scream. Sometimes I choose to reserve my throat, my air, and do these really relaxed mid-screams and the highs. They come so naturally to me. Really woke it up for me one day. I was watching, CSI Miami, I believe, and the soundtrack is Won't Get Fooled Again by The Who. And there's this part where he just releases this, it's crazy scream. And that was it. It woke me up. And I tried to mimic that with the whisper, while just whispering, and realizing a lot of screams can have the same effect while having so much less volume. Sorry, brief interruption. So, anyway, making sure you're in a comfortable enough position to where you can project the air out is key. Make sure you're nice and relaxed, and then we'll start with this vowel exercise, doing A, E, I, O, U, right? Let's learn how to get our vowels down with screaming, because that could help us really get the sound out more properly. When you actually know how to properly enunciate, sometimes it helps. A, E, I, O, U. Right? I'm just whispering. But the mouth shape is like everything. We want to go A, Show some teeth. E. I. Oh. Yo. Right? When you're saying you, kind of actually would want to make like a U shape with your mouth. Like imagine with O's. Oh. It's an O. A. Right? Can you see it? See it? I. Ah. Okay? So, do the A-E-I-O-U's. It's very important. Do that for 10 seconds each vowel. A. Right? Don't push too hard. Remember, you want to be relaxed. You want to have a nice, even breath. You want to be able to not push yourself to where you feel pain in your throat. You want to be able to, just like you're breathing, right? Just it's as easy as breathing for me now. And here's the thing. It took me almost a year to really get the full potential of my fry scream. And I'd say full potential because now I know I know I can do it now. I just need to learn how to make different tones to get the sounds that I want. And it's more like the techniques of the mouth rather than the air. I got the air down. Once you get the air down, it's all mouth, like lips, teeth, throat. Those things affect the screams that you want to do. Play around with it. Just do some weird shit. Have fun. Find your specific scream style that you like. Maybe if you like to mimic people, mimic your favorite artists. Truthfully, for me, like Phil Bozeman for like low screams. I love his low screams. They sound so awesome. Dickie Allen for highs and like just screeching, insane tonal noises. I find like a lot of those can be mimicked with the fry scream. Even if those techniques are originally done in a false chord style, you could still find a way to mimic that airy sound. And the reason why I am sticking to fry screams on this is because I'm still actually going through the period of relearning how to do false chords correctly. Because I used to do them to a point where they would just hurt. I hated it. I hated the sound. I didn't even think I could do it. And now I'm finally getting to that point. So next time, I'll show a little bit on the false chord and my progress with that, and showing what maybe you could do to get your foot into starting that if you haven't already. Because deconstructing myself took a long time, and it's kind of hard to not mix maybe techniques. Maybe you might actually like the sound of mixing the fry and the false chord scream, which is possible. Just have fun with it. Experiment. Record yourself if you can. Like if you're just jamming along to your favorite songs, if this helps you, awesome. Just have fun with it. If you're a band or performer looking to book shows in the Central Valley area, contact me at Wicked Booking LLC. I'll leave the links down. That's I'm doing sound primarily, but I'm also doing halves of the booking. So we plan to do paid gigs. Metal is welcome. Also hip hop, whatever, anywhere in between. If you can bring a crowd, especially, hit us up. We want to get off the ground. We need a location as well. We're looking more into that. We may have something nailed down soon. Keep up to date with me. I'm going to have some more uploads coming soon. Remember to subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification so that every time I get a video upload out, you will know. Okay, so this will conclude Scream With Me number 2. Next time, like I said, I will be introducing false chords.